What is up, guys? My name is Ebenezer Frimpong and welcome back to the channel. Today I have with me someone who has done over $2 million in revenue with Shopify Dropshipping, Noah Brewer. Did I say it right? Noah
Yeah.
Brewer?
Yeah.
Brewer. Okay, I said it right. Alright, I'm going to let Noah go ahead and explain to you exactly what he does and how he generated over $2 million in revenue with Shopify Dropshipping.
Alright, so basically, I mean, it's pretty much the same as a lot of people who are watching this. I started out owning an agency, actually, and I got into Shopify same exact way, just YouTube channels, seeing people talk about it and seeing people have success, seeing people like myself talking about doing all these big numbers, and then wondering, how is that possible? It's almost not real. Mm-hmm. Because those are usually things that you have to wait until, or it makes it seem like it's very hard, like you have to do all this complicated stuff and whatever, but that's basically what sparked the whole dropshipping craze for me, at least. And I know that the route that you went down when you did it was Google ads, right?
Yeah.
So it was kind of the opposite for me. Like, I kind of avoided Google ads, Instagram influencers, all those things, and I just strictly focused on Facebook ads. So I was working with people who did influencers and stuff because mm-hmm. they had the data, mm-hmm. and then I would help them move it over to Facebook. And that's kind of like what jump-started, the first few six-figure stores that I grew was kind of partnering up with people who were good at influencers, mm-hmm. and just like taking it over to Facebook and then scaling it there.
And then through that, how many stores have you grown in total, do you know?
It's around like 30 or 40.
30 or 40 six-figure stores.
They weren't all six-figure. I would say probably it's definitely over 15 six-figure ones, but there were a lot of ones where the product was good, but it just it didn't scale that well. So, there were some that maybe only did 20K in sales in a couple months, mm-hmm. and then there were some that did 70, 80K. But I mean, just six-figure stores. There's definitely been over 15 for sure.
Which is insane. So he definitely has a lot of value, and he's definitely someone that a lot of you guys can learn from, especially if you're getting into Facebook ads, right? And what would you say is the biggest thing that people need to know when they're getting into Facebook ads?
Well, it's like any business. There's two things that are most important, being one, having the right guidance, and two, taking the right action. And those, that's really what did it for me, was taking action, meaning, spending money, mm-hmm. Making all the mistakes in the beginning. There were actually a few stores that we actually lost because of, as you do these things and as you take this massive action, stuff doesn't always go perfectly. And you learn lessons and stuff, but it just makes you better at the end of the day. But that's basically all you got to be willing to do. If you're willing to get the right guidance, do your research to find the right person to learn from, and put in the work to get it, then you'll get it, and that's basically all I did.
A lot of people, when they're getting into Facebook, they don't understand that it's a whole process of testing products continuously, right? Mm-hmm. So a lot of people, they'll test maybe 2 or 3 products, right? They'll start at $5 a day, and the minute that product doesn't work, they say Facebook ads doesn't work.
Yeah.
Right. What would be one thing you would tell those people?
Well, I mean, we were talking about this last night. It's not, you can't force a product to sell. Mm-hmm. You can have really good marketing, and the product could still not be profitable. So the way that we treat it, and it's the beauty of dropshipping, because you have the quickness. You mm-hmm. don't have to get a manufacturer or build an entire store for one product, or do private labeling. You can literally test products, within 10 minutes of finding it. Mm-hmm. You can launch it and test it, and you can do that over and over again. So that's kind of how we treat it. We just if it doesn't sell right away, we just usually move on and start testing other products, because we want to find something that is going to start selling right off the bat.
And on that note, right, there's a lot of people who, get emotionally attached to a product. Mm-hmm. Right, and I've seen it countless times where even when people are using Google and it's not working, they're still attached to the product, because in their head they're like, "Oh, I would buy this product, so therefore other people would buy this product." And yeah. they keep thinking their marketing's wrong, or they're just doing something wrong. They keep optimizing, and the product is still not selling. How would you, I don't know if you've come across people like that, but how do you get them to break away from that emotional attachment? Like, hey, you cannot force a product to sell, right? How do you tell people to break away from that?
Well, for me, it was like, are you emotionally attached to the product, or are you emotionally attached to like freedom and money and like getting that actual profitable product? Because there's a lot of theories and stuff out there that don't make a lot of sense with Facebook ads, but it makes money. You know, like when you talk to somebody who's actually doing what you want to do, and you talk to somebody who pretends that they actually do it or act like they actually do it, you're going to get two different pieces of advice almost every time. The person who actually does it is going to tell you what you don't want to hear, what doesn't make sense. And the person who pretends is going to tell you what you want to hear. They're going to tell you what makes sense. And that's like the difference. So like, it makes sense that if you had perfect 100% good marketing, you can make any product sell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what people automatically think. But if you talk to anybody in the game who is doing big numbers, 6 figures, 7 figures, nobody is finding a product and spending more than like $300, $400 testing it. I mean, there are some people, and I've seen it work. Like, it's not plug and play. Nothing's guaranteed. But for the most part, especially if I'm working with a beginner or something and they don't have a lot of money, I spend maybe $150 on a product, and if it's not profitable, we'll move on and just forget about it.
I was watching Ty Lopez's live stream a while ago, and he said it perfectly, right? A bad product will not sell. You cannot polish a turd and try to sell it. It's just not going to work. Well, and a good product will basically sell itself, right? You don't have to do a lot for it to sell, right? And there were some products that we were talking about last night, right?
Yeah.
That's killing it, and it's a good product. It's basically selling itself. What else would you tell my audience about Facebook ads, right? What other tips would you have for them?
I mean, the main one is just, understand who you're learning from. Because like, I can teach you a few things right now, but honestly, like, there's so much content out there already, and I wouldn't really be able to explain specifically how to do things, because there's a lot to it. But so the best advice that I give is how to get advice, and that's mainly, find somebody who spent 10 hours a day in the ads manager for a long time. That's what I did. Like, I know Facebook like the back of my hand, like every button. I don't know the algorithm, but I know the game. Like, I know what happens when you do this, I know what happens when you do that, because I've done it all. And that's what I'm saying, because there's a lot of people out there who claim that they know what they're doing, and then it's kind of like those people that are pretending, and they tell you what you want to hear, and they tell you what makes sense, but you actually go and implement it exactly how they say, and it doesn't work. And I'm not talking about you do it once and it doesn't work. You do it 20 times and it doesn't work, even if you apply the hustle. So the best advice that I can give just on a talking style interview is just telling you how to get advice in the space, because there's so much nonsense out there and just stuff that's just not true. So that's like the number one key.
There's definitely a lot of fluff, especially in the e-com space on YouTube, right? There's a ton of content, because this niche is very profitable when it comes to personal branding. So there's a ton of fluff, there's a ton of videos out there that won't make sense. So Noah's definitely right. When it comes to, taking the path and getting on the journey to e-commerce, my best advice is find one person and just stick to that one person, and don't change strategy. No matter what, don't change strategies, right? Because a lot of people, I see a lot, right? They're watching, let's say they're watching me, they're watching Noah's channel, they're watching 5 other people, and then you're trying to test everything at the same time. Do not do that. Pick one person that basically is your virtual mentor, right? And learn from them. Do whatever they tell you to do. But don't go out there and try to juggle a bunch of different strategies. That's the fastest way to fail. Right? That's the best advice I could give you as well.
That's actually crazy that you say that, because when I was being taught Facebook ads, and I didn't know what lookalikes were, I didn't know what retargeting was, I didn't know how to even make an ad on Facebook. Everything that my mentor taught me, I did. Like, I didn't question him. I didn't go read articles that, argued what he said. I didn't, watch other YouTubers at all. I didn't buy any courses. I just stuck with this one dude's strategy, and he told me, like, if you want to master anything really, you have to choose one thing and run with it. And that's like the biggest thing that he told me is, I mean, he actually told me, like, believe it or not, he told me, if you take advice from anybody else, I'm gonna stop coaching you. He told me that. That's like the type of mentor that he was. He was very not controlling, but I needed it. You know what I mean? Like, I needed somebody to tell me to shut up and just do what I say. And that's a big part of what made me successful. And he knows that. And you have to follow one strategy. And so many people come to me, and they're just all over the place. They have no clue what they're doing at all.
Yeah, like normally when people come to me and they're trying to learn Google, they're people who have done Instagram, right? They've done maybe 2 shout outs and it didn't work, right? And the thing about that is, even my first Instagram shout out sucked. Like, the comment section, they roasted me in the comment section. From there, I could have said, oh, this doesn't work, and been done with it. Instagram influencers doesn't work, and then went on to the next thing, right? That's what I see a lot in this when beginners get started, right? They try one thing, and as soon as it doesn't work, they move on to the next shiny object, right? That's all they're doing. They don't stick to one thing. So that's the biggest key here, right? And even when speaking about mentorships, when people come to me and they're like, hey, I want to learn Google, and they've been using Facebook for the longest time, and maybe hasn't been successful for them, and they're using Facebook. And they come to me and they think Google works the exact same way as Facebook. And I try to get them to unlearn that. But all they do is question every single thing because they're so stuck with how Facebook works, right? So when you pick a mentor, you need to listen to everything that mentor is telling you, especially if it's a different ad platform that you're regularly used to, right?
Put your ego aside.
Basically, right? Ego does not belong in e-commerce.
Yeah, but it's interesting that how you talk about, like, doing something a little bit and then moving on to the next thing, because that's not how it was for me at all. Like, when I knew that was something to avoid, though. Like, when you're just starting out, there's these bad things that entrepreneurs do that you don't want to do, and that was one of them. Like, shiny ball syndrome. People do it with entire business models.
Yeah.
Like, they'll join drop shipping, like, spend $100, be like, oh no, like, I'm out of all my money. I gotta go do affiliate marketing now. Yep. But doing it inside of drop shipping, like, just because you're still drop shipping doesn't mean that you can't have shiny ball syndrome. And this happens with, like, Facebook ads. They'll test like 3 products, and then they see somebody a YouTube video pop up that talks about Snapchat ads, and now they're all about Snapchat ads. Yep. And they run 2 or 3 ads, same exact thing. They see Ebenezer Frimpong Google ads. Yep. Now they're on Google ads.
Yep. Exactly.
That's toxic.
Yeah, exactly.
You do not want to be that, because when I started doing Facebook ads, it was Facebook ads. I didn't care about Instagram. I didn't care about Snapchat, because I knew that every business out there, every strategy out there is just as hard as the rest. You're not going to win by going the easy route. There is no easy route. It's a hard route either way. Google ads are hard. Yeah. Facebook ads are hard. Snapchat ads are hard. Dropshipping is hard. But you only win when you commit to mastery on one thing. And that's really important.
I think part of the reason why people do that as well, it's like they let their hunger, like, of course, being hungry in business is a great thing, right? And people get on YouTube and see these lavish lifestyles, right? The private jets, the yachts, whatever, right? And they're like, fuck, I need that very badly. So they're willing to try anything that they feel could work and get them to that point much faster. But what they're failing to realize is the people who are showing these private jets and these yachts, they stuck to one thing, right? They didn't they didn't start dropshipping and then move to Facebook ads or Google. They stuck to one model and one model only and one traffic source until they mastered it, and then they learned another skill set, right? People are hungry to get there quickly, right? They're not. It's like they sort of want a shortcut, right? That's what it kind of looks like. They want to put in the work, but they want to get there as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Right. But you have to be patient.
I mean, if there's somebody who's watching this and you feel like this is you, just know that even me, like, I've been doing Facebook ads, every day, like a 7-day-a-week task, for the past year and a half, and there has been times when I see people doing $50K a day with influencers, and it's like, damn, like if I were to do $50K a day with Facebook ads, it's a bit different. Like there's pros and cons to everything. If you do $50K a day with influencers, your shout out only lasts a day. But if you do $50K a day with Facebook, it lasts forever. Or not forever, but it lasts a lot longer because it's a daily budget. But that's the shiny ball syndrome, though. That's my mind being like, damn, I wish I could be doing $50K a day. But in reality, it's like doing $3K a day, which is like the average client of mine does, is better than having $150K a day for me, because I like that consistency. So it's like I still get the urges to do something different,
but you have the self-control to not.
Yeah, I know that I'm good at Facebook ads, and I want to get good at Facebook ads. You know, I don't want to like go into something completely new, because I know influencers is a whole different demon. Google ads is a whole different demon. So it's like you want to focus in on what you're already good at or what you plan on getting good at, and for me, that's always been Facebook ads.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. So if you're watching this, we just gave you a ton of advice that I definitely think you should definitely, consider and take, right? Do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I think we're good.
Okay. What I want you guys to do is go check out Noah's channel. I'll have the link down below in the description. I'll also have his social media down in the description. And another thing, most people don't know this, but Noah is basically the e-com world's best kept secret, right? A lot of people know Noah and have worked with him. A lot of your favorite, YouTube gurus have worked with Noah, right? So he definitely has the skill set and knows exactly what he's talking about. He's actually helped a bunch of your favorite YouTube gurus as well. So this is not someone you should take his advice lightly. So definitely go check out his channel. And thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, share, and most definitely subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys next time.
Pull out the Lambos, we bout have a race. I put on the seatbelt in case. Like future my diamonds, they jump out the face. Can't even seek in his grace. Get some cell rock, we just put up the ace. Stars in the roof of the race. Praying to God, yeah, I'm keeping my faith. You don't wanna get out of place. Making this money, I just keep going. Not gonna stop till my bank overflow.